What is up, Dingle's Crypto? So today I have a very exciting video. We're going to be talking about the battle that is happening in DeFi right this moment, and that is the battle of crypto indexes and DeFi indexes. Who will win? Will they all win? It is PIEDAO versus PowerPool versus defi+l index, right? And their meta governance platforms and protocols. Who will win? Well, let's talk about it right now. First, if you like my channel and you aren't yet subscribed, I will keep you up to date on the latest crypto news, and we will explore DeFi and understand DeFi together. So make sure you subscribe. And on the way back up, hit that like button. I appreciate it. So let's just jump right in. So the keys to have a successful meta governance and DeFi index protocol. First of all, you can't have exploits. You can't have flash loans attacks. You can't have your vaults be emptied. They don't have vaults. PIEDAO just introduced YPI, which allows utility of the urine vault, I believe. But you just can't have exploits and people on your protocol losing funds. I feel like that's obvious, but I think I need to state that as well. And another key point is finding their own index niche. I think they all can be successful, and I think they will. I think that's the most likely outcome of this, is for them all to be successful. Next is DeFi Legos built on their index token. So they all build index tokens, and the index token with the most utility will most likely win, or be the most successful, right? So let's just jump right into the first token. We're going to go over the market cap and the total and circulating supply quickly, so we kind of just understand that, because they do have different tokenomics. Although they're kind of the same, they have slight variations. So let's just jump into it. And one thing I do want to point out is PIEDAO and index have similar market caps, which I think is something that is fair. So what I believe the market cap of a meta governance token should be, because the utility of a meta governance token, and if you don't know what a meta governance token is, it's basically a token that governs all the token protocols within the DeFi index. So there's a pool which has a bunch of tokens. For example, sorry for jumping around, but I just want to show you, and if you don't know what meta governance is, okay, so this is PIEDAO, this is Bitcoin++. It has, I don't want to look in Bitcoin++. Let's look in defi+l. This has a bunch of DeFi protocols, and most of them have DAOs, which allow governing their tokens to govern over the protocol, right? So the meta governance of this index is DAO. So the people that hold DAO get to vote on proposals on all these platforms, or on all these protocols, right? So that's what meta governance is, and that is the major use case for all of these. All these protocols also have yield farming, but I am going to stop saying yield farming is a use case, because economically yield farming should be neutral. It's like there's no real economic payoff for yield farming. Obviously it might work out if the price of the governance token goes up in value, but then you get impermanent loss. I mean, yeah, it's nice and there's potential there, but I think it's all mind games at some point, guys. So I'm not going to consider yield farming a use case. All I'm going to say is meta governing is the use case of all these tokens, right? And is that a good use case? Yes, I believe it's a very good use case. But let's get back to market caps. And PIEDAO, 5 million. Index, 5 million. And then we go to, come on, I had it up. CVP PowerPool is at 14 million. So do you see the inconsistency there? And one thing I think the meta governance tokens market cap should be derived from is the total value locked in their DeFi indexes, right? So the market cap, or the total value of these meta governance tokens, should be directly related to the amount of tokens or amount or the governing power they have over the tokens within their indexes, right? They should have a direct relation. And right now there is an inconsistency among these valuations. PIEDAO 5 million, index 5 million, power pool 14 million. And let's go into total value among the protocols real quick. So PIEDAO 8 million. Power pool is 16. I looked at the contracts. There's 16 million worth of tokens in these two indexes, right? So 16 million. And then DPI is currently at 24 million. So right there you see which meta governance token should be the most valuable, because this is the main utility of these tokens is governing the protocols within the index. So right there you should see that index is the most undervalued, if that's the way you want to evaluate these tokens, right? So keep that in mind. I think that's a very interesting reason. At the end, I'm going to summarize all the different pros and cons, and we can discuss it. So let's just go right into let's go back to Power Pool. I'm going to be jumping around this video. I'm sorry, guys, just a lot of different points I want to point out. So PIEDAO is my favorite interface out of all the interfaces because they have, it's good branding. PIEDAO, obviously indexes are pi, so it's kind of a pun, but it's a good branding. And they have good developers, good community, good interface. Like I said, they have the most DeFi index products such as BCP, which is wrap Bitcoin, Ethereum, and DeFi tokens, and then Bitcoin++, which is hedging risk from Bitcoin on Ethereum, because it separates them between all the different Bitcoin options. DeFi+l, defi++, which is large cap, small, and large cap, and DeFi small, which is small cap, and USD++, which is hedging risk against stablecoins on Ethereum network. So, and then they just came out with the Yearn ecosystem Pi, which is interesting. It utilizes Yearn's vault, so that's interesting as well. And I think PIEDAO is the protocol that has the fastest development and the most creative development team, right? Although they did follow Power Pool's Yeti index to create this one. So is it copying? It's competition, right? So if somebody comes out with a good product, you tend to follow suit. Hopefully they find their own path, and they have with a couple of these, like BCP, which gained traction, right? Is one of their biggest index, and it just recently came out. But let's go into Power Pool's interface. They came out with a V2. Unfortunately, my computer does not like their V2 UI for some odd reason. And they only currently have two indexes, which is Yeti, which is the Yearn ecosystem index, and the Power Pool index, which is just like a DeFi blue chip index, right? So is it a nice interface? Their V2 is nice. I've seen pictures of it. Unfortunately, my computer does not allow me to access it. The only reason why I think Power Pool is the only reason I can find for a Power Pool to be worth $9 million than the other two protocols, DeFi index protocols, is because of the XDAI bridge. But is it worth another $9 million in valuation? I don't know, guys. I don't know. In my opinion, no. But if there is a scaling issue, Power Pool will be the first one to adapt, and that is a pro. Now let's look at the index interface. An index was created by defi+l and token sets collabing. They are both prominent not protocols but projects in crypto. Token sets allow you to have diversify strategies like trading strategies, robo strategies, and actually traders as well. You can invest in traders. And then defi+l is just an aggregator of information and data on the Ethereum blockchain, right? So they have more I don't want to say institutional, but more like traditional crypto money behind it, guys. So that's a plus, and that brings us into their community. So this is Index's community, and it's actually very comical sometimes that within these three communities, because they're always coming back with like intel from the other discords. They're like, look at what they're doing. Whoa, we gotta do the same thing. It's kind of comical, and I enjoy being a part of all three of their communities. They're very intellectual and good conversations in all three communities. And oh geez, somebody's bass is bumping down there. I wonder if you heard that. But anyways, so very interesting conversations in Index. And as you can see, Sets, a prominent person in the token Sets community right there. I believe he's a good he's a good developer. Is he a developer? I see him on Twitter all the time. I don't know exactly if he's a developer. I should have looked more into it. But Index, great community. My favorite community is PIEDAO because they're just good memesters. I mean, they make great memes, and weirdly enough, memeing is an important part of crypto. Like the Chainlink Marines, I mean, they memed their way all the way to $20, and they're going to meme their way all the way to $100, guys. So memeing is an important part of crypto, oddly enough. But I mean, PIEDAO is the best memers. If that adds value to that, maybe it does. Who knows, right? I mean, these projects are so small. They all can be very successful and have multiple hundreds of percent gains from this point. It's just who will be the most successful, guys. Now let's look at PowerPool. Okay, PowerPool, probably, they still have a very active community, very intelligent conversations, but they are a little slower on building products. Even though that can be looked at a pro and con, they're a little slower because they do things more safe and less ways to be exploited, or create a smart contract exploit to be exploited, right? So that could be looked at as a pro too, guys. So it's just the perspective you have. And I like PowerPool. The only issue I have with PowerPool and PIEDAO is their vesting schedule of their tokens. A large majority of their tokens are still not circulating. And same with Index. They have 11% of their tokens already circulating versus 9 and 6.5%. So PIEDAO has 9% of their tokens circulating, and CVP has about 6.5% of their tokens circulating. So all of them have a very high amount of inflation to go. So that's always going to act against the price of the token. So keep that in mind. Obviously, there could be proposals in the future to burn some of the tokens in the reserves or in the smart contract to hold it from circulating supply right now. But I'm going to give a definite answer on who the best here in just a second. But first, shoot a sub. I know I said this at the beginning, but I have to say it at the end again. And we have been growing a lot lately, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So if you like this video and think it added value, shoot a sub and hit a like too. I appreciate it, and let's continue to grow and learn together. Lastly, and this is the finale. Once again, no exploits. The keys. Once again, the keys are no exploits, finding their own index niche, DeFi Legos, sorry, not logos, built on their index tokens, so adoption among other DeFi protocols, and those creating their token, wrap tokens, and Lego tokens. It's going to be crazy in a couple years. I can't even imagine the products that are going to be built. I'm super pumped. So let's go through let's just summarize real quickly. So Doe, their index market cap is 7.9 million. CVP is 16.6 million, and Index is 23.95 million. So I believe the meta governance valuation should be a derivative of the market cap of the tokens in their indexes, right? That's just a logical conclusion. Obviously, crypto is a highly speculative industry, so that's why there's such a different price valuation for each, and they're not consistent. So let's go over the pros real quick. Pros for DO is their interface, team and community, and quick development. So that's why I like PIEDAO a lot. Very quick development. They're going to be very adaptive to market demand. Cons, total supply. 9% of the total supply are circulating, so inflation, it will be high. 90% of the tokens still have yet to be released, guys. And then lowest market cap of the indexes. So out of all the indexes, they're the least adopted index or indexes. And Power Pool, market cap 16.6 million of their indexes, so they're the second largest. XDAI Bridge, which is a plus, so if there is high gas fees and there is adoption to XDAI, they can quickly change over, and probably they understand, although XDAI is pretty much Ethereum, just quicker transactions, so I'm sure they all can switch over relatively quickly. Strong community, good developers, just active community, which is great. Again, they're even worse than PIEDAO in the total supply category, because there's only 6.5% of their total supply circulating right now. So they have like 97.5 million tokens left to be no, that's totally wrong. Sorry guys, math is not very strong right now. So there's 6.5 million tokens out of the 100 million token supply, so they still have a lot more to release, and that's obviously inflation holding down the price, and obviously we care about the price, so that is not good. Index, the largest valuation in terms of the money in the DeFi index funds, or the DeFi index. So they have the most adoption, and when it comes to DeFi utility and people building on this index and building products and DeFi Legos on this token DPI, it will pick DPI because it has the most adoption, the highest market cap. It will have defi+l and token sets behind it and supporting it. It has the least inflation, already 11%, even though that's still a relatively small amount of circulating supply of tokens. It's more than the other two. And then most likely main index Lego piece, like I said, the DeFi protocols will probably use DPI out of all the indexes. And then index token sets trade, that's just an idea I had. Maybe index token sets has traders on their platform, so maybe, I don't know, I was just brainstorming there. Cons, cons, let's go. Cons, longest to adjust to market demand. I feel like they are going to be the slowest to adjust, because they're more, even though they're still not traditional, but they just feel like they're more traditional, and they just take slower to adapt, versus PIEDAO and CVP. They can quickly adjust to market demand, like they did with the Yeti token and the YPI, right? So keep that in mind. My favorite all-around winner is Index, the biggest MCAP, the most circulating supply already. I think Index is going to have the DeFi protocol adoption needed to really advance their index. Best community and team, I think PIEDAO, very, very quick to adjust, very smart developers, and I think they will create a huge niche. Maybe, I don't know, there's a lot of indexes, not just even on price, hash power, off-chain data. Like, indexes will be huge in DeFi, and I think they will do a great job to adjusting to market demand and creating these weird, funny, cool indexes, right? So scalability, if needed, CVP. I think CVP will kind of be, even though ironically they do have the highest market cap right now, I feel like they are the least. I have had CVP, and I did yield farming with them early, but unfortunately I do like Index and PIEDAO better than them. I will just be blatantly transparent with you guys. I like Power Pool. I like PIEDAO and Index better than CVP at this point. Maybe that will change as time goes on, but as of today, I do like PIEDAO and Index more. So that is it. I think they all will be successful, but who will be the most successful? In my eyes, it will be Index, more institutional and protocol adoption, PIEDAO, more creative indexes, and just a fun time, power pool, scalability if needed, quickly. And that is all for today. I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, shoot it a like and subscribe. All right, peace out till next time.